Hi guys, this is Duncan from dunksblog.com, and this is a beginner's guide to Python. This is a programming language that people are recommended when they're just getting into programming. So this is designed for those of you who haven't seen Python before and you're just looking to get into it, understand the basics of it, and I may do some videos in the future with more in-depth commands. So I'll provide the download link to Python in the description. It does have a little command line version, but this looks pretty scary, so I wouldn't recommend using it when you're first starting. Go ahead and start idle, which is the Python GUI, and you'll see something a little bit more friendly. And the great thing about this is that you can use the little editor here. If you go File and then New Window, you can start putting your scripts inside here. You can obviously use other things like Notepad, Notepad++, and other editors to do this, but it's nice to have this sort of thing built in. And when you want to run it, you just go to Run and then Run Module, or just press F5 and it will run it inside this little live shell. So about this live shell, great thing about this is that it provides you instant feedback. So it's just like issuing commands to a computer. It's going to provide you with some form of response. So if I put something completely random and press enter, it's going to pretty much say, what the hell are you on about? It doesn't understand because this isn't a command. It's saying name error is not defined. So let's go ahead and do something that it does understand. Usually in every programming language, when you first start out, the first thing you want it to do is print hello world to the screen, or show it. So very simple, print, and then in brackets, and then in quotes, hello world. Notice as I close the brackets off, it's actually highlighted the entire thing just to show me this is where you start at the bracket. This is very useful if you have multiple brackets inside a thing, which you will probably do if you're getting in depth with Python. So it's a nice way to see where you're at. So just go press enter and you'll see it's printed hello world. Excellent, it's just what we want. Now this command has changed since previous versions of Python, and who knows, it may change in the future. Through every version they try and make it easier for everybody. So if anything has changed, feel free to contact me through YouTube or dunksblog.com, something like that, and I'll either put an annotation in or I'll make a new video, who knows. So you printed hello world to the screen. Excellent. Now let's ask the user a question. So we're going to do it along the same lines, but this time use input, and we're going to ask, so for example, we'll say hello world again, how are you, question mark. Now I'm going to add a space on the end of this purely for aesthetics. If I didn't do that, it's going to put the cursor here, so it's going to ask me, but I like having a space at the end. And then again, closing off that, it's highlighted the entire thing. When I press enter, it's asking me live, hello world, how are you? So I'll just say, I'm fine, thanks. Press enter, and as you can see, in quotes, it's got I'm fine thanks. That's a little bit different than printing it, and that's because this is regarded as a string. Because once you ask a question to the user, if they write something in, you're often going to do something with that. So it wants to store it somewhere, so it's storing it as a string. Now why is this important? Well, for example, if I then go up and press enter on this, it will return the same thing, and I answer this with 5. You'll see again, this time in single quotes, because I think I had the single quote in here, that's why that's done, the double quotes. It's regarding that 5 as a string, which is text. So if I wanted to do something with that 5, so for example, add 5 to it, it's not going to work because it's regarded as a string, as text. It's going to come up with an error. So in order to work with actual numbers that I've got there, all I need to do is type int at the beginning. Now int is short for integer, as you can see there, integer being a whole number. So int and then input. This time I'm going to ask something different, so give me a number, question mark, and then close it out again. So you'll see that again it's showing me the section that I want to close out, so make sure you get those two brackets at the end. Press that, and there we go, asking me give me a number, and this time if I type 5 in, it's just giving me 5 without the quote. So that's now regarded as a number, and I can do some form of calculation with it. So that is some basic things, so printing and asking the user a question. Are you following me so far? I hope you are. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is store some variables. Variables are obviously things that are going to change. You can do calculations with these sorts of things. So before I do that, I'm just going to show you some basic calculations. 1 plus 1 is going to show up as 2. 2 plus 5. You can do things like 6 times 5, and all that sort of stuff. So you can do the basic calculations. But what I'm going to do is assign the number 1 to the variable of a. Variables are mostly used in programming for a bunch of different things. So I'm going to say a equals 1. It's not showing me any form of feedback for that. What I'd need to do is then just say either press A, and it's going to tell me 1, or print A. Notice that I've not put this in quotes, because if I did put it in quotes, it's literally going to write A back to me, because it's treating it like this hello world, and it's just going to do that. But print A, and it's printing 1. So if I then do B equals 2, it's going to store B as 2, which then means if I do A plus B, you'll see it's performed a simple calculation and it's returned and remembered that A was 1, B was 2, and that's ended up as 3. Now the problem with this is that if I wanted to do this inside a script, it's not going to do anything. I actually have got this as a script. So let's just go ahead and open the script I have here. And you'll see I have A equals 1, B equals 2, A plus B. If I go ahead and run that, you'll see it says restart and it's not done anything. Like it knows that A is 1, it knows that B is 2, but it hasn't got any instruction to show me 3. So if I go ahead and go back to the editor, let me just resize this, I think that'll be easier. And this time do print A plus B. Then run that module. We'll save it. And there we go. There is my 3. So make sure that you do have that printing command at the beginning. It is quite important if you want to display something to the person who's looking at it. So just a quick tip after that, you'll see that we had A is 1, B is 2. You'll then see that it come up with 3 as a print. But if I was to then do A plus B, for it to then show me 3, and then if I did 10 plus and then an underscore, it's actually stored this answer as a variable, and that variable is an underscore. So this is going to show me 13. So that's just a little quick tip. So if you wanted to do something with the previous answer, just use that little underscore and it will add it to it. So I don't think I should really go further with this. This is just some basic stuff. If you're looking to get into Python, it's a good language to learn. There's plenty of tutorials around. I just thought I'd do a basic guide for you guys to understand very basic forms of what you can do inside Python. So if you guys want to see more of these, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to provide more, and feel free to head over to Donk's blog. There's a bunch of stuff there which you can learn too. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.